Greetings to my unbelievable sexy V family all over the world. This is once again the most eligible bachelor in V history, your chief, your upline, Pathman Sainatiraja, recording yet another Wednesday message. And today is a bit special, all right, because you're watching this video on Wednesday. Wednesday today is a public holiday here in Malaysia, and we are celebrating our Independence Day. And my trusted employee Suresh just told me to speak about what independence really means. And it brings me back to what I want to talk to you about today. So I want you to listen very carefully, all right? The network marketing as an industry has grown. It has grown into an amazing, huge industry itself, crossing over 200 billion US dollars a year, and predicted to become bigger than Apple, become bigger than Samsung, all put together, to become bigger than technology, automobile industry, than any other industry in the world. Now, you and me, we are IRs, all right, in a company called QNet. We are part of this huge industry. And I believe that every industry has fundamentals, all right, fundamentals that drive the industry as a core value. I know that you preoccupy yourselves very much today with technicalities, the comp plan, all right, techniques from your system to presentation, all right, to how to max out, how to open up new markets. Many of you have become network marketing specialists and experts, you understand? And many of you have built successful organizations all over the world. And some of you watching this video are taking the first few baby steps in your journey to financial freedom. But you see, I believe that network marketing is not only a business. I believe that there is a core value in network marketing. Now, I believe that in life, all right, human beings or the human race has gone through one of the most amazing journeys God has put on this planet. All right, and I always talk about the concept of slavery. Okay, so if you're uncomfortable with this topic, switch off the video, all right? But if you want to understand how your crazy upline and chief thinks, listen to the video. And I remember the early days spending so much time with my upline, Dato Sri Vijay Ishwan and Japaras Bismarck, our founders, and trying to understand what drives them. Now, these are people, all right, these two great men started this in 1998 with nothing, all right? And I believe completely that it wasn't success or money that drove them. There was something deeper. There is something more significant that drives them to build this organization and keep doing it after 18 years. And that same thing drives me. Now, I want you to think of your life before QNet. All right, when all of you beautiful morons had something called a job. So I did a module many, many years ago where I compare slavery to a job. All right, simple. Now, slavery exists long, long time ago, before Abraham Lincoln abolished it, all right, in the United States of America. And slavery was a simple concept, all right? They would catch people and make them into slaves. Now, this is a life of a slave, all right? And I want you to compare it to your life before QNet and the life of all the people waiting for you to do the presentation to them out there, the billions of people waiting desperately for a QNet IR, a warrior of the V, to save them, all right? So a slave wakes up in the morning, all right? How do they wake up? They're all in this barn. It's like a prison, okay? They're all locked up in this barn. And in the morning, all right, the slave master or the boss, all right, walks in, kicks them, shouts, hits them, and said, "Wake up, it's time to work." And they're all tied up in shackles, okay? So they all come out of the barn. On the way out of the barn, they get stale bread and a cup of water. That's their breakfast, right? And they eat their breakfast while they are walking. And they don't walk like left, right, wherever they want. They are all shackled at their feet together. So they walk really tight, close to each other, no space to breathe. You know, they are all tight, so close together. And then they reach a cotton farm. And the master will release them to pick cottons. So they spend the whole morning picking cottons until the sun is up at noon, the brightest. Then the master will blow a horn, one sound, and half the slaves know it's time for them to come back and have a quick lunch and go back. And then the master will blow another sound for the other half of slaves to come, have a quick lunch, which is bread or some crap, all right, and they go back and pick cotton until the sun comes down, because there was no electricity, they have to stop working. And they all come back and their legs get shackled again. They walk very close to each other, right, and they go back to the barn. Do you understand? And they are locked. Now in the barn, they had to figure out ways of entertaining themselves. Some of them made a guitar and played songs. Some of them told stories to each other so people will listen. Some of them played cards. They made moonshine like an alcohol and drank it, right? Waiting for the routine to start the next morning. And some of these slaves work for 60, 70 years to death. Now let's take that life of a slave and compare it to the lives of the working people out there who go to work, come back home every day. Now they wake up in the morning, not with a smile on their face, but with a loud alarm clock, or a wife or mother-in-law who kicks them and said, get off your ass and go to work. You don't sit down and have a breakfast with leisure. You grab a piece of toast and you run out of your house just like the slaves. Then you get into your car or take a bus or train where you are almost shackled with each other in a traffic jam or in a crowded train or crowded bus, smelling everyone's smell. You understand? And then you reach a tall building like a cotton farm. And you are released into the building and you work until the sun rises to noon. Then half of you go for lunch, come back and work. The other half goes for lunch, come back to work. And then you work until the sun comes down. But because there is electricity, some of you work until midnight. Then you get stuck in another traffic jam or a crowded train with smelly people. And you come back to your house. And you go back into your house. You watch a bit of TV, you have dinner, and you go to sleep. And the next morning you start this routine again, And some people work for 60 years of their lives and die broke as a nobody. Now this is what's happening to 90% of the world population today, all over the planet. Whether it's Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, wherever around the world. So our founders, Dato Sri Vijay and Japa, they founded this company as a way to rescue these people, to save these people, to give them hope that their life is not destined to go to work, come back home like a slave. Is to give them independence or freedom. So a lot of people tell me, Chief, you are a networker. I'm not a networker, guys. Maybe you think you are a networker. I am not a networker. I'm a freedom fighter. That every single day when I make my Wednesday message, or I go up on stage and run VCon, or I travel the world non-stop, or reply hundreds of WhatsApp every week, I'm fighting to give people freedom, to give people hope that their life is not destined to be a slave until they die. Now you may think that slavery no longer exists because your perception of slavery is people working in the cotton field. I beg to differ. Slavery exists even worse than it ever existed before. And the only industry, the only concept that can free the slaves of the modern world is called network marketing. And the only company, I believe, that has that value of freedom as a fundamental DNA of why we exist and why we do what we do every single day is QNet and the V. That we believe in what we do. We believe that people are not destined to die broke. We believe that husbands should not force their wives to work just because they can't afford to put their children in school. That we believe that everyone deserves a life of freedom and independence. That you can make your own decisions. That you have the freedom to choose whenever you want. And this is only possible through network marketing. This is only possible, through QNet and the V. That every time you go out and you do a presentation to an arrogant prick sitting in front of you who doesn't believe in us or doesn't believe in the industry or have Googled QNet and have a negative opinion of it, you must never give up on it. Because it's not about signing up the person and getting the 7,000, 5,000, 3,000, 21,000 BV. Alright? It's not only about that, that you are helping that guy achieve freedom. That if you don't convince him to sign up, he is going to die as a slave. His children are going to duplicate his behavior and become slaves. That I want to challenge the status quo and fight it every single day and prove them wrong. That the people of the world, the good people of the world, are not destined to be slaves for the rest of their lives. That they need a chance, hope, that they can be free. That freedom belongs to every man, woman and child. And in today's modern world, you may not be in prison, you may not be slaves picking cotton in the cotton fields, but you are, in a different way and form. Alright? You're not eating stale bread, you're eating toast or croissants. Alright? You're not coming back to a barn, you're coming back to a house. But the fundamental concept is the same. That the people out there, they don't have freedom. And God created all of us equal. And God gave you all freedom the day you were born. The sad thing is, after you graduated from university, or even when you started studying in the university, you gave your freedom away. And what is network marketing? What is QNet? What is our founders, Dato Sri Vijay and Japa, they stand for? Giving freedom to people in network marketing. That's why we exist. So every time, guys, when you do a presentation, I want you to be driven by your dreams. But I want you to be driven by something bigger, something stronger from inside of you. That you're not just a networker, that you are a freedom fighter. So whenever we say we are warriors, we are fighting to give freedom back to the people who deserve it. And I believe that this industry will only go stronger. That QNet will become the most powerful network marketing company in the world as long as we retain this DNA that our founders have planted in us. That we are here to save lives. We are here to give hope. And today being the Independence Day of Malaysia, I hope the Malaysians remember that we fought for independence, to give freedom back to the people. And in network marketing, we give freedom back to the people all across the planet. So I stand here as your chief, as your upline, but most importantly, I record this video as a freedom fighter who believes in the basic human right that every man, woman and child deserves to be free. The freedom to choose to make their own decisions and not be oppressed, alright, by the desperation of earning a salary every month and working for 60 years and still dying broke. And that's why we exist. That is what we must change. And that is why Dato Sri always says the V is about making a difference in the world and not only about selling products and promoting a network marketing concept. We are here as freedom fighters. So today on this Wednesday message on the Independence Day of Malaysia, I welcome you, all my downlines, not only as IRs, not only as networkers in the greatest industry in the world, but as freedom fighters. So stand proud and don't allow anyone or anything to stop us from fulfilling this mission of saving lives and giving back freedom to the people of the world. And in a few weeks, the greatest freedom fighters of the world are gathering at VCon UAE, guys. And if you want to understand why we are different from every other bullshit mosquito company out there, come to VCon UAE. And you will truly understand what freedom fighting is about. You will understand what we stand for. And you will understand why you're the luckiest person to belong to the V and to belong QNet under the leadership of Dato Sri Vijay and Japadas Bismarck. And I'm very proud to announce that this VCon is going to be the most amazing event in 2016. There's a new app being launched today that will help you from start to finish, go through your journey at VCon. But most importantly, come to VCon to realize your true purpose of being a freedom fighter. Alright? That yes, it's about max out. Yes, it's about dreams. Yes, it's about first class, fast cars and beautiful watches. But the fundamental pillar, the foundation of our existence is ultimately freedom. I love you guys.